This is the interface of the software Steve. The top 3 panels are for image visualization, and the bottom section is for controls. Here, on the left, you have the tools to acquire images with the 3D Cell Explorer microscope. White light, 3D, and 4D for time lapses. Beneath, you have the options for loading files, saving, and exporting them. Let's open a dataset. You can browse through the Z-slices with click and drag on the 2D view, or you can use the Slices slider beneath. On the right, you have an automatic visualization of the 3D refractive index. You can use the slider to make the gradient more intense. It is proposed by default and does not require any user intervention. This gradient is conjugated with a selection of color maps. The eye perceives different colors with different levels of accuracy, so sometimes using a color map makes some details stand out that would otherwise go unnoticed. In the 2D view, you also have a ruler tool to make measurements of your cells. You just have to click on the ruler icon, select one end of the cell, and then click on the other one. The value appears in micrometers. You can also see the refractive index value by using this icon next to it. Just select it and click a voxel of interest. This is the raw data taken from the microscope. For a clearer visualization, Steve offers basic post-processing utilities. You can access them by clicking on Processing. On the left, you have a before and after view. It allows you to preview what changes the post-processing will bring when you click on Apply. On the right, you have a list of available post-processing options. The histogram is used to adjust brightness and contrast. This feature allows for visualization and manipulation of the histogram. By clicking on Auto Bounce, you can automatically select a best guess value to improve the contrast. You can then manually move the sliders to adjust it accordingly. The goal of background subtraction is to make the cells stand out. The software provides an estimate, which you can then preview and apply if it suits you. This feature works best with isolated cells. It changes the value of the voxels that are part of the background to make them black. The edge preserving filter is a smart smoothing filter. It applies a blur selectively with the goal of preserving features but smoothing out background noise in order to get a sharp image. The iterations control how much blur is applied. A higher value implies stronger smoothing. Notice how the inside of the cell remains untouched. The raw data is never modified. The post-processing tool is a visualization tool that can be saved inside the acquisition file. When closing a file, simply choose Save. However, when you reopen a file, by default the raw data will be shown. So you just click on the process mode to see the data. Let's now stain our cell. Click on the plus button and select a color from the color picker. You can then paint in a section in the 2D view. You can then move your stain around in the staining panel and change its size until it looks just right. One way to make a stain more intense is to increase its opacity. Moving the edge softness slider to a higher value also makes small objects more visible. Once you're happy with your stains, you can save them to a file. You can also load a previously saved panel. The sphere at the bottom right is a cropping tool. Let's cut away part of the cell. Drag the plane to the side of the cell that you wish to cut away, and then move it in by holding down Shift while you drag. In the 3D view, We have now cut away part of the cell, and you can see the inside. This file is a time-lapse recording. You can see that there's more than one frame in the timeline on the bottom. To play back time-lapse data, choose a speed-up factor and click on play. For a clearer view, you can set the overlay to maximum and click on the arrow in the 2D viewer to access the full-screen viewer mode. There are multiple export options. First of all, you can select which frames you'd like to export. You can choose from a range if you have a large data file and only are interested in a few of the frames. The stride changes how many time points will be skipped for the export. You can then select which content you would like to export: the refractive index, an overlay of digital stains and fluorescence signal, for example, if you're working with fluorescence, or even a 3D rendering of the measured refractive index, as you can see in the top right panel. You can also select which slices you would like to export in the Z stack. And finally, you can select which format you would like to use, depending on what you would like to do with the files after export. All you have to do then is select your destination and click on Finish. All these outputs are usable for single frame export or movie export, providing you multiple possibilities to share your beautiful images.